Deloads are a pretty controversial topic in the fitness community. Some argue that they are essential, while others think that they are just a waste of time. In this video, I will break down everything you need to know about deloads, what they are, why they're important, why you might not need them, and how to implement one. Deloads are nothing more than a dedicated period of time where your training volume and your training intensity are lower than usual. But do you actually need to program a period of easier training? To answer that, we first need to understand the purpose of sacrificing a whole week of gains. The main purpose of deloads is to wash out fatigue accumulated over extensive periods of high-intensity training. When you constantly push yourself to near failure for months, your body and mind become drained. This leads to unproductive sessions, poor sleep quality, plateaus, and fading desire to work out. At that point, you have two options: continue pushing more and more in a weakened state, or take a step back, get some good rest, and come back stronger. If you have never reached that state before, I would highly recommend to reconsider your training approach. Not needing a break every couple of months means that you are probably not pushing yourself hard enough, and you are definitely leaving some gains on the table. If that's the case, then my first guess is that your consistency is lacking. If your 5-day per week program occasionally becomes 4 or 3 days per week, and you also get some extra days off for Christmas and holidays, then your body gets that extra rest. If this works for you and you are satisfied with the results you are seeing, then that's totally fine. But don't expect this type of training to maximize your gains. If that's not the case and you are consistent, then my next bet is that your training intensity is off. If you are not pushing your sets close to failure, then you might never feel tired enough to get a deload. But you cannot really expect great results if you're training like that. I have dedicated a whole video on the intensity topic, so I won't dive deeper here, but I will leave a link in the description. If you are not getting out of track and you're training close to failure but never felt the need for a break, then I can only think of 3 possible explanations. You're a genetic freak and your recoverability is sky high. You're a beginner and you're training consistently for less than 2 years, or you are not paying attention to your progress and the way you feel. The probabilities are that you have reached that state before. You just didn't notice, or you did not know that these symptoms can be related to the need for a break. In these occasions, the break is usually forced by some type of injury or illness, where your body prevents you from continuing the damage the hard way. I hope that it became pretty clear by now that deloads are not necessary, but they should be. The need for a break only means that you are doing something right. Now, except for the obvious benefit of washing out accumulated fatigue, deloads have some other perks that are worthwhile to be mentioned. First of all, volume resensitization. If you are integrating volume progressions from week to week, after 6 or 8 weeks, you have reached a point where your body has adapted to way higher volume numbers. By taking a week of lower volume training, you are resetting your volume counter and you are reducing the amount of sets required to simulate growth. Next, and that's an obvious one, it really helps with joint health and injury prevention. In weightlifting, joints are a pretty common point of failure, and giving them a nice break every couple of months sounds like a pretty good idea to me. And finally, deloads are providing some time off the gym. You can use this time to enjoy your life while you are still enhancing your long-term progress. This might sound trivial, but it is crucial to find the balance between being dedicated and consistent and having some time off to do other things. If you are planning on being invested in fitness for decades, this can really help you build a healthy mindset around it. Now, deloads can be either reactive or proactive. So you are either deloading because you are feeling weird and your lifts are going down, or you are pre-scheduling it. Both approaches have their advantages. If you have never done something similar before, I would say that it's better to go for a reactive approach, because this can really let you experience for how long you can push before you need a break. After a year of reactive deloads, you should be able to know if and when you're going to need one. At that point, you can decide whether you want to keep doing it like that or switch to proactive ones. I am usually scheduling my deloads around holidays and vacation weeks. I have a rough idea for how long I can push before I need a deload, and I am adjusting my volume increments and intensity level accordingly so I can take a break during my vacations. For example, if I schedule a week of holidays 3 months from now, I will push my volume and intensity over the next 3 to 4 weeks, so I can take a deload in week 4. Then for the next 8 weeks, I will slowly build up my volume again until it peaks the weeks prior to my vacation. Also, 1 to 2 weeks before my week off, I will push at failure and even beyond to make sure that I'm getting the most out of my training, since fatigue won't be a concern after my week off at all. Then, during my vacation, and depending on where I am, I might do 2 to 3 easy full body sessions. Normally, I am taking a deload every 5 to 8 weeks. Recovery-wise, I'm pretty sure that I could push more, but some joint-related issues prevent me from trying. Remember that training hard goes hand in hand with resting hard. I really hope that you got something out of the video, and if you did, please subscribe for more. Cheers!